Good morning. I am here with Caitlyn Blosser.
Hi.
And, we're trying to get used to this live video, so we're both a little bit nervous.
Not my favorite thing.
Yes.
But I'm overcoming it.
Overcoming. So, we wanted to talk about new construction today. I'm sorry. Because we're seeing a lot of people are getting interested in new construction.
Yes.
And what happens with new construction that we see a lot is people just go straight into the subdivision and they go straight to the sales center and start looking around. And I don't think people realize that they can have their own agent.
Yes, you can.
With new construction. Or they think they don't need it.
Mm-hmm.
Which do you think it is? They don't know, or they think they don't need it?
I think they don't know because there's always a sign that says like, oh, agent on site. And so they think that they have to use the agent at the model home.
I think they think they get a better deal if they use the agent at the model home. So we thought we'd tell you a little bit about the difference between using someone like Caitlyn to represent you on the new construction versus just using the person at the sales office. So what would you say the number one difference is?
So the biggest thing is that the agent on site is going to be dealing in the transaction regardless of whether you have an outside agent or not, because that agent is ultimately there not to represent you, but to represent the builder. So if you go in alone and that's the only agent involved in the transaction, then just know they have the builder's best interests throughout the entire process. Where if you bring an outside agent in, such as myself or Jenny, then we're there to represent you throughout the entire thing, and then that agent is still representing the builder.
Yeah, and I think that's what people don't really understand is they think maybe, okay, so there's a very nice lady or man there at the sales center and they can answer all your questions. So what do you think the difference is in somebody's looking out for your best interest versus looking out for the builder's best interest? What do you think
So I think it again just goes back to if something goes wrong in the building process or a builder cuts corners, that agent might not say anything because at the end of the day, they're there to appease the builder, where I'm here to protect you on the buying side and make sure that what you paid for is what you're getting.
Yeah, because there's a big difference between, let's talk about maybe something that everybody has to say. Like if we know something's wrong with the house, we definitely have to disclose that regardless. But there's a lot of gray area where you're like, is this gray or is it kind of the wrong color?
Right.
Where if you're looking out for one party's interest over the other, you're always going to side with the one party. Now, the other big thing is what happens to the money that's left on the table? Like if they don't use us, because you get to be represented in Georgia for free, that's coming from the seller side. What happens to that money? Does it go to the buyer?
No. It's either going to stay with the builder or the agent on duty is going to get all the money. So either way, it's not, you never get a discount for not bringing your own agent in.
And if they offer you a discount for not having your own agent, I think I'd be wary.
Yes.
Yes. So another thing that I think happens with new construction is you're in love with a house. So when you go, it's all about the windows and the appliances and the new carpet and the new floors and the views.
Yes, everything's shiny.
Yes. Where we are there to make sure that the trim is on all four walls. Remember the people? She had somebody the other day that she was there and she was like, shouldn't there be trim on that wall too?
Yeah, there was trim on 3 of the walls and it was missing on 1. But again, the excitement of my clients, they were so excited. They had been building this house for months. They were just so ready to move in that something so small like that they forgot and didn't even notice. But I know once they moved in, they would have. So it was one of those, we call it the attention of the builder before it was done and they were able to get it fixed.
So what's the worst thing you've seen in new construction?
So the worst thing was a couple weeks ago, we went in for our first walkthrough, and that's the other thing with new construction is you do 2 walkthroughs. You do one about a week before closing, and that's where you go through and you mark all the walls, look for all the things, so they can do paint touch-ups, cabinet touch-ups, trim touch-ups. If anything's wrong with the floor, you catch it then. And then you go in the day before closing and kind of make sure all that stuff was wrapped up and completed. Well, we did our 1 week out final walkthrough. Everything looked fabulous. We were so excited. We marked off what we needed to, and we left the house. We got a call the next day that when they were in the dishwasher, the plumbing wasn't set up correctly, and water was everywhere. And this was in the kitchen island. So it started in the kitchen island, and they noticed it because the builder walked next door and saw water coming out of the driveway.
Ooh.
Yes. So we were able to go back in. They ended up ripping up all the floor and all the trim, remediating the problem with dehumidifiers, and then it did delay closing a couple days. But the best part with new construction is now that house is protected. With new construction, you always have some protection. You'll always do a 1-year walkthrough. So that's something that it's documented that there was a problem. And now if the cabinets start to warp, which we don't think they will, but if they do, they are protected,
Right.
And can get those fixed.
The interesting thing on this is after that happened, of course, we wanted to take our client back in for another walkthrough before closing. And the other agent wasn't jumping for joy for that.
No, she was like, why? We already did our first walkthrough, and we're just going to fix everything. And I was like, right, but when we did our walkthrough, the flooring looked great, everything was there, and you just ripped everything out. So we need to go back in, because as they're redoing the floor, what if they put a dent in the cabinet, or what if they scratch the wall? We want to make sure that the work they're doing is done properly and that everything else is as good as it was before.
So if you're going to new construction, remember, when you walk in and they say, do you have an agent? And you say, yes, Caitlyn or Jenny or Brittany, nothing's going to happen. They're still going to answer your questions and help you. You're just saying, I want these answers today, but at the end of the day, I want my own representation, because it's free to you and it's always in your best interest. So if you have any questions on new constructions, feel free to send me an email or post a comment, and we will get back to those. I do have one more thing I want to announce today. So we had somebody new join the team.
We did.
We tried to get her to be on here today, but she said no. So it's going to be a couple of weeks for her.
Yeah, you'll see her in about 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks she'll be on here. But what's interesting about Lindsay is she's been with Keller Williams before. She's just new to the team, but she has a degree in law. So she's gonna make us smarter.
Very smart.
Smarter. Don't tell her we said that though. All right, y'all have a great day. Bye. Oh wait, so we just have moments sometimes in the day where we get on each other's nerves, right?
Or when you get a call from a builder that your island
Flooded.
flooded.
So I love these little mist sprays. Like this one came from Target, and it's called a Rose Glow Mist by Pixie. And you know I'm kind of picky about my ingredients, so it's pretty good on ingredients. So you can just spray your face and have a whole new attitude. So we keep it here because some days we need it. But Chad won't use it, and he needs it the worst. Bye, y'all. Have a good day.